Hey, welcome to After Party number 40. We're going to talk about sessions 118, the sincerest form of flattery, 119, the doppleganger effect, and 120, the same page. Is this your favorite set of three so far, Leland?
This one was a little lacking, actually.
You bastard. I put everything into these three.
I like these titles, though. These are good titles.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It was good. This was a good batch of three, everybody. This was really fun. It was pretty fun. I hope you all had a good time playing your specific roles in some of these episodes.
Yeah, I have some things to say about some of that.
Yeah, I got some things to say, too.
At least you can say it in your normal voice, Emily, instead of yelling like Shakara.
My throat hurt for 2 days after that.
I believe it.
I don't even know where to start here because the first 118 was Falzarin and I sort of on our own. And there's stuff I want to talk about, but I don't know how much I want to reveal yet because it hasn't been revealed. So when we all sort of got together, I guess that wasn't till... Where was that?
I mean, we never got together if you think about it because we're doppelgangers.
Well, that's true.
So it wasn't until 120.
So I guess, I mean, if we sort of gloss over the beginning part, I think where we were all together first is when Falzer and I were sort of checking out Samuel's place, and we got to one of the doors and we listened and we heard you two talking on the other side. And I believe Falzarin and I sort of looked at each other. I think Bill and I said, "That's impossible."
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of yelling. Yeah. Even while I was off mic, I could hear it in the other room. What?
Does not compute.
Yeah, so what did you guys think when you saw us in paladin armor and heard us?
I thought the timeline didn't work out real well. I didn't know what the problem was. I certainly didn't put together it was the doppelgangers. Not for a while. It started making more sense a little later on. I think Bill actually sort of told me, and maybe it's the doppelgangers. And what else? Crap, of course it is. There's no other thing it could be. So, yeah, I think, let's see what happened here. Mia says, well, I guess I want to say this first off. Mm-hmm. Mia and Shakara, or Elena and Emily, did a fantastic job of diverting the questions, right? Because whenever Falzarin and Shaft ask you direct questions about, well, why aren't you following the plan, or whatever, listening back to it now, you did a really good job of you were doing a Shaft, right? You were avoiding 100%. The questions,
we learned
going down
a
different path.
Dude. Emily squeezed so much information.
He told
out
us
of you.
everything. It's a good thing we died.
So we just went along with what you said, right?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I didn't realize I thought it was really Shakara, right? So my plan, of course, was to try to give enough information where she could start sort of pulling back to our side and, start trusting us a little bit more. Little did I know.
They make it nice with the doppelganger, but then when he actually meets the real Shakara again, he gives her all kinds of crap.
I can't trust any Shakara.
Yeah. Boy. Once bitten, twice shy now.
That's right.
The first time Emily started speaking, and it's funny. Did we know that they were listening in? They must have been
no.
on mic, right? Okay.
No. I don't think you knew.
So anyway, Emily was talking about she and kept saying she, which we meant Erica as the doppelgangers. They think we're talking about Isabella. Like, genius move. Round of applause there.
Thank you.
I was impressed.
Yeah, it really is like an episode, a second listen through would be fairly revelatory just in a lot of the language that the two of you were using. Absolutely, yeah. It was nice because, I didn't have to do fuck all for 2 whole episodes, really.
It was the whole, why aren't you following the plan? Well, why aren't you following the plan?
Yeah.
And trying to figure out what is the plan. And then I think when I said something to the effect of, you're supposed to be getting the artifact and helping Grimby. And then later on, those two pieces of information you guys threw back to try to make it, seem like, well, that's what we were doing.
And like Leland told us what the doppelganger of Shaft and Falzarin were supposed to be doing. So we knew where you were supposed to be. So when we say, why are you not following the plan? We think you're the doppelgangers, right?
Yeah.
At one point, I think Mia even said, why aren't you two in Heraklion?
Well, she said something like, you should be on a ship.
Yep.
Right.
And, and Bill was talking about something else at the time, and I went, why would we
I
be
was
on a
giving
ship?
away more info than Emily was, for sure. Like, I was even as Mia talking about, like, stealing daggers or having my eye on a dagger or something.
I think the thing that put it all together for me was when they were getting the wagon to take the barrels, and Falzarin was like, why don't you just take the portal?
Right?
Yeah, I
Very
left it too long
unusual.
before attacking you. I should have attacked you like 5-10 minutes sooner, and I did.
We could have had a good battle, right?
It was a
Could've had
good
a
battle,
surprise
regardless. Like, honestly.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
you almost killed Shaft.
And I did
Oh,
forget
yes,
to
you
roll
did.
a d8 during that attack. I mean, it wouldn't have taken you down because you had 9 left, so max damage I could have done was another 8, but I did forget to roll 1 die.
I messed up some attacks too, but yeah, it was very close. I was not happy. I was very uneasy.
Well,
To say that.
So yeah, there was the wagon thing was weird, and then like there's a point in like 119 where like Shakar's like, I forget the activation word. It's like, what? You what?
I didn't know what else to say.
But of course, at this point, it's so funny because at this point, both sides know the other are not who they think they are, and then you're just both like circling around each other trying to
Right.
Waiting for that first attack,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah.
The whole taking off your armor thing was like, what? I thought he was trying to make her weaker so he could like attack her. I forgot about the marks on our arms.
too.
That was smart, right?
I thought that would be tricky, how we're going to be able to figure out how to see their mark, and then Falzarin's like, you got to take the shirt off.
Says-
I didn't say shirt. I didn't say shirt.
Take your shirt, take all your clothes off.
But I mean, I wouldn't object. Yeah, no, I thought I could try and clearly it did not work, but I was hoping to get rid of the armor. I think you'd call them bucklers that would cover her forearms.
You would call them bucklers.
Yeah. Didn't go down so well. But I think that was the ending in a fight one way or another. There was no
I
other
want to
conclusion
think
to
of
that.
it as Shakar was trying to get as much information out of you guys as possible because she was either going to take off or kill you and then take information back to Erica.
Yeah.
That's why we didn't attack sooner.
I guess all this kind of answered actually one of Bill Ben's questions. He had asked Bill and John how long did it take to start guessing it was doppelgangers. And like John said, well, it was really Bill. But actually it was funny. Dave sent me a direct message, and he said he was only halfway through the episode, but he probably had already finished it, being like, no, there's no way you made Emily and Elena play their doppelgangers, did you?
I think it's awesome. I loved being able to do
Good
it.
to pick up on
I'm
that.
thinking some listeners probably clued in a little quicker, I bet.
Maybe. When you DM'd us about that, we were pumped.
Yes.
We were down.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a good opportunity. I think it was really fun.
I was not in my A game on 118 or 119 probably.
Well, okay, so yeah, ultimately it broke out into a fight. We're getting these barrels of phlogiston. The rest of it in the basement, and this basement was filled with phlogiston.
Was.
That was a lot.
Dumped out, poured out. So whatever cultist is using them for, no longer will be able to use them. And so something that struck me in that fight is, Elena, it felt like you were not going like balls to the wall against them.
Yeah, I don't know.
But also when Falsey activated the portal and they were trying to sync up jumping through, I'm like, oh man, are the doppelgangers just gonna jump through? I thought for sure Doppelmia and Doppel Shakara were like, hey, let's get the fuck out of here. And like one of you
That would've been
might jump
interesting.
through the portal. Like that would have been pretty
I didn't
crazy.
think about that.
Can we go record that again?
Yeah, that would have been sick.
Yes.
while I was playing, I wasn't really thinking of that, but then listening back, I was like, wow, that was really risky because
Right.
exactly, like they could have just hopped through. That'd be bad news.
I think, though, Erica doesn't seem like she would have been somebody that would have been very forgiving. If we had said we had gotten a fight with Shaft and Falzarin and they knew we were the doppelgangers and potentially knew what our plans were and we left
Yeah.
without killing them first, that might have been the end of us.
It would have been interesting to hear as doppelgangers and role play knowing that Eric is dead. We
Yeah.
still don't know, right? I will say that I was trying my hardest. My rolls were terrible. I didn't hit like at all.
I know you as a player are used to wielding the mighty falling
yeah,
star.
I'm used to
as
Mia,
actual
right?
Mia, but Doppel Mia it doesn't have falling
Yeah,
star.
this is like this is like
Yeah, real Mia and Shakara totally would have
Imitation
taken both
Mia.
of them out.
Oh, dude, we know it, right?
I will say Shaft was getting double teamed there for a little while, so he
Is that
went
what you
down
thought?
pretty quick.
Which is what would happen in a real fight also.
I mean, Falzarin
would
blinks.
blink in an instant.
Right. What are you
Yeah.
gonna do?
And you're not a tank.
No. I wish I would have backed off a little bit and sort of put some arrows into you, but no, I was hoping for those triple attacks and slicing you to pieces, but it just did not work out.
Yeah. I mean, the fight I want to see is Shakara versus Mia, really. I'd like to see that
Tank versus
throwdown.
tank.
We'll have
Yeah.
to.
That would be interesting.
Well, yeah, maybe.
Maybe as like a bonus content for the patrons.
When the
or
campaign
something.
ends, take our character sheets as is. Let's finish
Have
it.
a battle.
That would be interesting.
Or a free-for-all, a four-man death match.
Ooh, just for
Let's
fun
see.
for Patreons.
Last-
Let's do it.
Last character's dead.
How many times can I cast Blink in one fight?
Well, if you can ever get a roll off, you only once, buddy. I mean, what did you take? You took a flame breath right to the face, I think, because your failed blink from Shakara.
Yeah. Yeah, I passed, thankfully.
Right. So okay, so what is the two? So John and Bill, what do you? Again, you are. I mean, the cat's out of the bag. You've been portal hopping, right?
yeah.
And obviously, like Shakara and Mia both know, and there was a confrontation that we'll get to. But I mean, you've seen a variety of places, and now this is another place added to that list. Does it make sense that it's a place that a system of portals will go to you two, or was it again another surprise?
I think when we found out that Isabella was working with Samuel, it doesn't seem like such a surprise, right?
Yeah.
It implies a closer relationship than you might have otherwise thought.
Yeah, I thought it was two different entities, and now we know at least they're in cahoots with each other to some degree.
Right, like, but the feeling I got from Isabella, like, if I hadn't known that there was a portal at the keep, which obviously I did, was it just that they were helping each other in passing, that it wasn't a partnership in any way. They were just doing this thing to help each other out. But the fact that there's a portal there implies a much deeper something going on, I think.
After joining the coven, you do not know where all the portals are.
That's
yet?
what I'm saying. I knew, because when I joined the coven, I knew where all the portals are.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if we have enough information to make any kind of overall connections yet. I think we possibly can get some more information.
So, I mean, now Emily and I, as people and players, have more information because Leland gave us background on what Samuel's doing, where he went, right? And as players, as Mia and Shakara, we have to pretend we don't know.
Yeah, but
Right.
if you again, the information that you received, like the information the doppelgangers would have, is all information that was learned from your visit to the keep. I mean, the tactical map in the war room says basically all the information that you were given and had as Doppel Mia and Doppel Shakara.
Then Shaft and Falzarin just need to tell real Mia and Shakara. And
Yeah, sort
Yeah.
of
who
like
knows
say,
if
hey,
that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
We filled the ones in that we ended up killing, but we're probably not going to be as readily
Yeah,
sharing.
don't trust the real ones.
Right. Are they going to be like, Samuel's in a boat on his way to Heraklion? Are they going to say it? I don't know.
I think we're guessing that that's the situation, right? The map showed the ships going to Heraklion. He wasn't there. his stuff, some of his stuff is gone, right? I think we can assume that, but why?
Right. Exactly. The question becomes why. I don't think any of the four of us know why.
The most important thing I think we found at his palace or keep or whatever it was is that the tower is up near Jukal, right? And the tower that we thought was down near Goldham is no longer on the map anyway, whether it actually exists in reality.
I mean, you got more than that, though. I mean, you got a bunch of, like, troop placements. I mean, there's, according to the map, paladins in Victor and Goldham now, and throughout the forest surrounding Victor. So there's seems to be a complete mobilization.
The only opposition on the map, the only obsidian pieces were where we thought the Grung were, right?
Right.
That'd be the only resistance, essentially. So, and then I guess we can assume they're up near Drukal in the tower to fight whatever is up there, right? I mean, I guess. I don't know what's up there. The half-orc, or the orcs? The Neogi? It's up near the Vorgrag Mountains, right?
Right.
So, anybody have any theories on why they have a tower near there?
To fight the Neogi. I mean, that's what Shakara was told. Cultus is going to go fight the Neogi, so build a tower as a base of operations, I guess.
So does that mean so you think this new tower is serving a different function than the two outside of Victor and Goldham then?
We don't know what those functions are, those two either, though.
But surely those two down there, do you think they were used in some way to fight the Neogi as well? Because otherwise it would have to serve a different function then, right?
Seems like.
Yeah, that's where I'm a bit confused.
When were you told that? When
I joined the Coven, Isabella told me that.
Okay, so I don't know that yet.
You
okay.
do, because when I came back to join you guys to gain back your trust, I told you that Isabella had told me Cultus is going to go fight the Neogi, and that's why we had to go get the armor.
It's all so murky sometimes. Who knows what? And then the doppelganger gets thrown in.
Yeah.
It was really fun to play, but for sure, like, it is hard, and that's why we split up and don't listen when each other, discuss things that we shouldn't know.
It's interesting, and I think just the way the characters are all interacting with each other right now, it even makes it that much more fun because we're working together but not working together. And I think that interplay with each other and knowing when to trust and when to sell a piece of information or when to try to get that piece of information out of somebody else. Like if you know something and you know that other person knows it, you can ask them. And if they don't give you this right answer or if they try to play it off, that is a piece of information that you now have, whether you can trust that person or not. And I think that's Shaft really, is trying to figure out who he can trust based on...
shafting all of us.
I've been shafting you for episodes. And getting shafted, apparently.
I was about to say something from our Discord, and let's just move on. Okay. So, in 118, were Shakara and I ever Mia and Shakara? I'm trying to remember. Like, what did we...
No, not
we
until
just
120, yeah.
Okay. 120 is, where the fun happens, for sure.
Yeah, well, basically 119 was... predominantly the combat, right? It was a bit of a shorter episode because
conflict.
The entirety of the doppelganger was a single instance of recording, and 120 was its own session as well.
Okay.
Yeah, well, 120 starts again with me and Shakara, a bit of solo for them.
Well, can we just touch on the fact that you had Alamar say that Mullen had gray eyes, very specific gray eyes.
Oh, yeah.
And then told Elena to say that Mullen had blue
Yeah,
eyes.
that was a DM from
Leland.
Doppelganger.
They didn't have to reveal that.
Please.
Well,
he
I
said,
think that's
please
fair.
say blue eyes. And it was because we needed to stumble up to create that interaction.
I thought it was brilliant.
I was a good girl and said what I was told.
Good job.
Pat's back.
Yeah, I thought it would have been really obvious if you came back and described it exactly the way Alamar described it.
Yeah, totally.
There had to
forget
be something.
Alamar's there.
Well, it's actually kind of difficult because obviously that's something I would do if I was controlling the NPCs, which is why I messaged Elena. And taken out of that was a lot of there were a couple of conferences between myself and the ladies about, how we're going to move forward, a sidebar, if you will.
We have our own chat.
I mean, there's so much going on there,
Yes,
right? I mean,
there is.
when Alamar talked for the first time, I would have thought doppelganger Shakara would have went, what the hell's that?
Yeah, so I was thinking of it as like, I was surprised, but I had to hide it because I didn't know if Shakara would be surprised or not, so I couldn't show any reaction to it.
Yeah,
Right.
I think that's fair.
Played close to the vest.
Right. Well, so, and the other thing that I was, to finish that thought, a doppelganger has an innate ability to read a target's surface thoughts. If they're within 30 feet of somebody, they can detect, the very first thing and most forefront at that target's mind, and I guess what they're kind of focusing on too. So obviously that's incredibly hard for Emily and Elena to play, maybe a little less so for like the person running the game to play, having all the information about every character and all that stuff. So you have to take a few liberties somewhere and go with a few things in other areas too, right?
Oh, sure.
Like, maybe Doppelmia could have picked up that Mullen had gray flecks in his eyes off of Falsey talking to him and Falsey asking her, right? As Falsner would have the answer in his mind that he's looking for, but who cares? It would have just, like you said, John, it would have just
So
muddied
what? Who
everything up
cares?
even further, and it would just, yeah.
We were just waiting for somebody to shoot an arrow or swing a
Yeah.
sword. It was all coming down.
Yeah,
We just
coulda
needed the
kinda-
thing.
Show a mark
there's
on the arm.
because
That
there was
would've
a
been nuts.
little when Doppelmia and Doppelshakara were in the basement dumping the phlogiston, right? We separated again, and just I love at the very end of that, Doppelshakara just takes out, because she was equipped with a potion of fire breathing, which is how she was able, right, to try to mimic as closely as possible, and Doppelmia had some lightning based weaponry as well, right? But just the last thing Doppelshakara does is just downs the potion. Wow, we might need it. Up the stairs
Nope.
to rejoin.
Yep, I felt it coming, and I should have just gone ahead and initiated it and gotten a surprise round. It might have been enough to take Shaft down.
Well, yeah, maybe. Although those friggin' deck saves, though, was all we were throwing at Shaft.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
He's just doing cartwheels all over that fucking war room.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the thing, and like, I don't know. I was excited to potentially have a combat, but I also wasn't thinking like, let's get a surprise round. And really, I don't know. I was just more. It was more about the role play of trying to pull it off. I don't know.
Yeah.
The whole portal and wagon thing, it really got us. I mean, why wouldn't you bring it through the portal? I don't know.
I mean, I would have thought
Do we
you
even
still
know that's a
are
portal? I don't know.
still wanting to use that portal, right? It would save you a lot of time.
But see, if we can read your surface thoughts, we would know that there's a portal and you like maybe be able to pick that up. But because we're not the DM playing these NPCs, like it was kind of difficult, to know
Yeah, but
where
the
to...
thing is, you're not omniscient, right? Like,
No.
and even as a DM, you shouldn't be playing your NPC, regardless of how powerful they are, unless they actually are omniscient. Like they
Also,
should, like,
let's point out the fact that Leland says another word weird. Omniscient.
well, how do you say it?
That's an
Omniscient.
acceptable pronunciation.
Omniscient. Come on.
Omniscient. Ooh, I'm omniscient. It
Southern
doesn't sound like you're
Cavern omniscient. I love it. Okay, anyway, moving on.
Well, I'll tell you this: if Doppel-Shakara and Doppel-Mia would have went through the portal and came out on the other side, it would have really pissed off real Shakara. I guarantee you.
Super pissed.
That would be interesting.
No, you would have took the Shaft and Falsey would have took the fall for that one too, probably.
We should start posting the
Yes.
the passwords for the
Yes.
portals on bathroom walls and stuff.
Dude.
Well, just imagine if the doppelgangers came out and gold them. They roll the D6 and come out and gold them. And it's just like that Spider-Man meme of the Spider-Man pointing at each other.
Right? Oh my gosh. Oh man, I mean, we'll get there, but Emily deserves extra XP for that role play. In my
Hell, we're
opinion.
there. I mean,
It's
again, there was
so
a bit of
good.
off-mic stuff, but I don't think none of it warrants a lengthy conversation unless one of the two pairs of you would like to go into something in regards to what happened in those instances. But
Nope.
I complete.
like to move forward, Emily's choice to be so pissed and embarrassed is like, It was so good.
Makes
it was
sense.
so good.
I mean, they
It makes
really
sense.
compromised my position within the coven, which I had just joined. I just infiltrated, you know.
And
it's-
Shaft's shooting at you after claiming you're going to be a double agent, and then he's
Right.
like compromising your position.
And then he was very antagonistic about it.
What do you
And
mean?
it's-
What did I say that was antagonistic?
Well, I didn't write it down. I would have to listen again. you were a little shithead.
He was.
I don't remember that
You
coming
were
across that way.
You were a jerk. You were.
I would just not to be the arbiter here, but I think Shaft was dismissive of Shakara's
Dismissive.
concerns.
Yeah.
Yes.
He doesn't understand why she's so upset. Falzarin, on the other hand, I mean, let's talk about that 45-minute
I don't think we really
man.
need to cover that at all.
defensiveness.
So just monotone and even and like wouldn't even fight back. And it's
Trying
like,
to
come
sound
on, man, I'm
patient.
punching you here. Punch back.
He's trying to sound patient and understanding and like caring, but at the same time, it's like Mia told him, like in character, and maybe Mia's being feisty, maybe it's Elena coming out. I don't know. I told Falzarin to shut up. I told him to shut up.
I think I did too.
I was like, stop talking. Like, how many, you know what I mean? Like, because he kept trying.
Which was
to
making
justify.
it worse. It was just making Shakara angrier. And it's like, dude, just stop shoveling.
I believe
Your hole's
what
deep
Shaft,
enough.
Shaft said, "What's done is done. We can't do anything to fix it." That was your dismissiveness.
You said a
And
lot
then-
before that.
and I also think he said in the end, "I'm sorry," didn't he?
Yes, you did. But I know that was an appeasing sorry. That
Look,
wasn't
you
that
came-
wasn't
you
a
came
felt
in like
sorry.
a bat out of hell from the beginning. There wasn't anything to do except calm you down slowly.
Which
It
Falzarin
was-
was not doing.
So Falzarin was like trying to take this calm approach, but like the more he was talking, the more we told him to shut up, he kept talking. And I
Yes.
was like, do you see the smoke coming out of her ears? Like, it was just one of
Yes.
those. I
You
was
were like this close to getting flamed.
dude, I would have been with you.
It's like telling an angry person to calm down.
Right,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
exactly.
That's exactly what happens actually when someone tries to tell me how I'm feeling. It's
Right,
like,
yeah,
wait, you know how I'm feeling? You know, right? Yeah.
Take notes, Bill.
Oh, he knows.
Shakara,
What kind of a jerk would do that?
Shakara, though, would Shakara be this angry if the Coven didn't know when the portal was being activated? Like, if you just came in here and be like, "Hey, where were you? What's going on? How come you're not in Goldham?" And then they kind of told you, "Well, we did this and this," would Shakara have been as angry?
No, I don't think so. She would have been angry, yes, but the fact that Isabella called her out on it, well, essentially called her out on it, and she had to admit to Isabella that she messed up and let the others know what the activation word is. This thing that only the Coven is supposed to know. Now other people know it because of Shakara.
It's like a password. Can they not just change the activation word?
I don't.
It's not exactly how it works. It's not a four number pin that you can reset and recode.
That was my first thought. Was like, why wouldn't Isabella, when she checked the situation out, just change the word?
They should have multi-factor authorization.
Well, being part of the Coven is the two-step authentication.
Obviously not, because Falzarin can do it.
He can activate it, but he can't really use it because he doesn't know where he's going, does he?
Well, we're using it.
Yeah, big slashing V
effectively.
on the door. We saw. Frickin' called it episodes ago.
Shaft and Falsey saw that Grimby's back up on his feet.
Oh yeah.
Right, that's true.
Sure is.
And he's a nervous Nelly.
A
He
little
wants
bit.
the circlet.
Yeah.
Understandably. I mean, the man was
Yeah.
traumatized.
know. It's hard to see him like that, and I mean, as me, I shouldn't have said, "Are you feeble-minded?" that was a little harsh.
No, it's good to have Grimby back. That's for sure.
So we got the old long-time pals, Grimby and Alamar, now in the same room once again.
I think Falsey would be a little bit skittish if someone came up to his chest with another scabulet. You know, I can't blame him. He's been through a rough time.
Yeah, and if you had something you could put over to prevent another scabulet from being put on, you
Heck
maybe
yes.
want to wear it too.
I'd wear two of them.
A scapular protector.
I did like that, like, Mia did a sending spell to Falzarin to say, "Where are you?" And Falzarin's like, "Can you come get us?" And then Mia and Shakara had this thing. It was like, Mia had to talk Shakara into going and getting you guys.
That was really funny. I was like, 2 days walk is a long punishment, you know. We could just not let him keep these items, which I don't know that we could have. Again, like, this is, Mia's evolving. We've kind of talked about it in chats outside of recording on mic, right? For Mia to even suggest, like, keeping all the items and not letting Falzarin have them as punishment, it's just like, I don't know.
Very
it's weird.
anti-Mia.
And, like, saying shut up to him. Yeah. I think I'm being corrupted by you all.
Yes,
to the
my
best of
evil
us.
plan is coming together.
Well, I mean, you thought you were high and mighty at one point, too, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little bit.
But once your life is at stake, like, your place in the coven is sort of solidifying your own existence. You have to sort of, like, justify it in your own ways. It's the same with me and this Nyogi. It's like a single focus that's sort of taking over, right?
Yeah.
So I end up getting a dumb disc that carries 500 pounds. Frick, I'm so mad.
Oh, okay.
I drew the short straw. Let's talk about that.
The instance where that is the only thing that saves you, you're going to be so fucking happy I gave it to you.
What instance, though? Like, what
Shut
save me?
You shut it. Get creative. That's a great
There's going to be an
creative
elephant
item.
we need to transport.
It's
Okay.
such a good creative item. You could do anything with it.
There's a video about that spell.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, let's send
Tensor's
some
floating
YouTube
disc.
links in the Discord.
Yeah.
Oh,
I better watch it
I
too,
was
so I can-
pissed
so I'm
because I'm
ready.
already wearing. And then Leland made the smart ass comment about, like, Mia's. Mia remembers she's wearing an amulet. Oh,
That was
like,
funny.
I can't just, like.
You have to admit that was funny.
I mean, should I be pulling it off and, like, walking through the streets of Heraklion with my wings out? Probably not. Like, walk out with your wings out? Is that? I haven't flown in a while, though. I probably should.
Yeah, that's true. You haven't. Yeah, I don't think you've popped it since the Kraken fight.
That
Popping.
sounds right. Yeah.
What other crap did we get from that war room?
Got a ring of Misty Step, so I can
Yeah.
pop right up to the baddie and attack him.
That's what you got?
Hmm?
Misty Step's pretty good, but you already have that as a spell, too,
I
right?
have it as a spell, but that takes up a spell slot, which I could use as a smite or something else.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nice to have the ability to do it without taking up a spell slot.
I'm kind of a little bit peeved about all these message spells you guys got me. Sending spells.
It was only 2.
Yeah, you're going to regret it when we're 2 spell slots away from killing Isabella.
We might get a long rest.
Uh-huh.
Well, I don't know. I mean, you all have decided to go back to Heraklion.
Because we need the items from Izzy. And as
If
long
she
as
even
nobody
has them.
attacks her, as long as nobody attacks her, she will not attack us.
Does who here, by show of hands on podcast, thinks that Isabella's actually going to give us mind protection?
To get what she wants, if it's going to get us to get her what she wants,
I'm not sure she has access to those things. Hand is raised.
Well,
She's got access to the whole island of Heraklion.
if we go back to Heraklion, we at least can try to find what's his name,
Mullen.
Titterman?
Mullen.
Oh. I was going to say Titterman made the circlet, right? So
You and Falzarin and Mia might be able to try and find Mullen. Shakara will not be welcome there. That's something we have yet to tell you guys. There's a little something going on. Yeah, there's probably a talk we need to have before we pop out the portal.
I think I like how there's sort of a break again and between the party members, and it's going to be interesting to see how we re-bond to complete our goal or if we don't.
Yeah.
And I think that's very interesting, the way things have been playing out.
Well, regardless, I mean, like, the pieces won't go back together the same.
No.
I mean, this party's basically been shattered or cracked since Keck. Maybe a little earlier, but I honestly think that was like a huge catalyst, really.
where's Keck?
Yeah.
And from there, like the fractures are just kind of spreading across the shell of this precious, precious egg that is the party.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, there's a lot to, I mean, I think from Falzarin and Shaft's perspective, they've been together since the beginning, and then the two newbies come in, and what was it, not even a few days before Keck arrived. And then it was very much a finger pointing back and forth. And I think we tried to. I think Falzarin really tried to, make amends and with Shakara and try to.
But that's part of why
bonds.
Falzarin's deceit and pretty much backstabbing of using the portal hurt Shakara so much, because they had made amends. They created a bond over this being a warlock thing and being
It's like Bill's face.
there's a comment with somebody else. Shakara felt like they had a bond. And then Falzarin went and basically stabbed her in the back by using the portal without her knowledge, without her approval or anything. He just went and did it.
Oh, he looks like he's guilt-ridden now. Like he really let you down.
Yeah, Falzarin, defend yourself one last time. Let's hear it. Let's hear it. We won't interrupt
Where
you.
did I put my shovel?
Oh, it's at the bottom of that 100-foot hole you just finished digging.
When you put it like that, it sounds pretty bad.
I really like the Shakara Falsey arc. I guess I liked. Now Bill's just kind of thrown it into the trash.
Yeah.
Because, there was a lot of bonding with the similar circumstances that they had found themselves. But now, though, we're kind of at the end of those circumstances, and we see the split. Like, one is the path least traveled kind of thing, right? If you compare the two of them. Falsey's out, Shakara's right back in.
Right back in the coven.
Meaning, I'm not following.
They were parallel paths, and then Falsey came to the end of it,
Oh,
where Shakara's progressing forward, right? So it's almost...
Yeah.
Now they're no longer parallel, they're opposite.
you planted seeds for that long, long ago. I mean, Isabella basically has told Falzarin that he is just a little bit above useless most of the time that she talked to him, right? And pretty much praised Shakara really wasn't saying anything negative to her in the least. So we saw this shift coming some time back in Heracleon. At least I think I did.
Yeah. I mean, hell, I'm so good. I was planting seeds even before Shakara was part of the party.
Yeah, even before Shakara had started down this path of warlock, the whole way that she was brought into it was completely different from the way Falzarin was forced into it.
Right.
It was a different relationship from the start.
True. I guess Falsey was set up for failure, really. That's kind of what I'm getting from all of you.
I mean, he could have taken to it, but it wasn't his choice.
Yeah, I could see how in an alternate timeline Falsey may have been interested. I mean, it was new and interesting power that he was given, magical power, which obviously he's very interested in and fascinated by, but
He just doesn't have it in him.
Well, I mean, you can get a crowd's attention once you joined up. I mean, that was the key, right?
yeah.
Hey,
You could shoot the...
great in social gatherings.
That's right. But after that, it fell flat for you then, right?
It's a hoot at parties, but
But outside of that, in a business situation, he really can't use it. In a professional situation. How different, though, would things have turned out for Falzarin had you all managed to kill Erica in the Coral Urn? Like, I mean, Izzy has his opinion of Falzarin because he failed to do what she set him to do. Like, she's not just conjuring and deciding he's useless. Like, she's just reacting.
Well, right, because he wanted to try and talk her out of it instead of just taking her out. Whereas Shakara, even though she wasn't the one that actually took her out, Erica was taken out.
remember when Falzarin threw a bead of fireball from the necklace
At the house?
at the hut, and
Oh, yeah.
it exploded outside of it?
And Erica jumped out the back door
He
down the
just
cliff.
doesn't have that killer
He
instinct.
threw it at the front door instead of through the window.
Yeah, that was great.
Oh, wow. That was a long time ago.
Good times.
Yeah, remember when Bryn had to climb inside a beast to save your butt? Like, balls
Yeah.
are in. The cockroacha.
We just
Cucaracha.
can't get away from Heracleon, can we?
Can't, and I think it's your fault. You're the writer of this story.
I mean, I guess I have my part to play, but you could all just
Like-
decide to go to the mountains if you want.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only reason that Shaft is deciding to go back to the belly of the beast essentially is because we need, if we're going to go up there and fight these Neogi, we need something to protect us. Because we've already had that experience, right?
Yeah.
And we could just kill each other off relatively quickly if we don't have something to protect
Right.
us.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine? And there's quite a few Neogi too, right? So,
Oh, there's one or two. Yeah.
yeah.
Just a few.
Plus all the orcs that they have under their control, and elves and half elves and humans, and probably some dwarves thrown in there somewhere, and
Can't recall.
Yeah.
Did somebody bring up Horik in one of our recording things here?
Mia
Mia
did
knows him.
mention.
Where was that?
That was before we all split up, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, you want to talk
And
about
it
it?
was
You can.
Mia. It was Mia, right? That said you. What exactly did you tell Shaft or the group that Shaft overheard?
I think I talked about how I met this guy named Horik in a bar,
Right.
and your ears perked up. You didn't say how you knew him or anything like that. Of course, you kept it close to your
Right.
chest.
Yeah, I'm trying to, because I think Shaft knows that Horik is still alive based on what happened in the cave
Right.
with
With Clash.
Clash. But that would have been, that information that you had would have been pre-Clash anyway,
Yes.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You would have met him pre-Clash.
Right.
Okay. So, I think Shaft is thinking if we go to Mount Necrosis or we go up, we're going to need to get in with the orcs. So that's an example of something we somehow got to figure out how to work in to the conversation if we go up to find the orcs, right? I would think Mia would probably say, "Hey, I've, I know a little bit about these orcs."
Yeah.
And then that's when I think Shaft would probably at least share a little bit of
Will
that
he, though?
knowledge.
Because literally, most of this stuff doesn't get uncovered is because Shaft is playing his cards close to his chest, right? Like,
True.
you could have inquired more when she brought up Hork, but Shaft decided not to. And that information
Right.
may have come out in roleplay. So a lot of it is what Shaft chooses to not say.
Right, and I think he tends to want to give that information when it's
Too
to his
late.
advantage, right?
When it's
No,
too
not
late.
necessarily. Not necessarily too late.
Well, like Mia's gonna
No, but to your
Mia's
point,
gonna
Leland,
tell
you're
you what
right.
she knows, right? And she spent 2 months in Altenshik, like tracking down wagons and killing hatchlings and things like that. She knows Horik. Like they would have talked multiple times. And you know that I know Hannah now too.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I think there's some stuff to be we just haven't had a moment really. I don't think. Well, I guess we did have a moment to talk in Goldham place, but we were all sort of yelling at each other. So it, didn't
It
really
was a
come up
little
naturally.
heated. It was a little heated and aimed at Falzarin. There's actually, I mean, I bet there's with each of our characters backstory things that we would like to come out that just it's not. And I think that's a lesson for everyone with D&D. You can spend hours on a backstory, paragraphs and pages, and like doesn't always come out. Doesn't mean it wasn't good to have.
Right. Right.
Yeah, but me personally, I strive to work in all of your backstory stuff. So that really, the time, the day that I feel bad about someone's backstory and the work they put in it not being utilized is the day the campaign ends and it never happened. Most of the time, I feel like it doesn't come up because the character dies. Right? And then that's usually because finally, like, we're getting to stuff. I mean, obviously in the very, very beginning of our long story that we're telling, the paladins were kind of taking this forefront, right? The towers themselves were a huge catalyst for the original party having gotten together, and some of their motivations that caused them to be a party, be a group traveling together, right? whether it was curiosity or wealth or revenge. That started the journey. And now, of course, it got, again, sidetracked a lot. But it's all coming back to the paladin. So there's still opportunity for a lot of this stuff to come into play. So definitely hope none of you feel like there's no room for backstory stuff to be able to come into play, because I definitely keep that in mind and am striving to do so.
There's a spaghetti factory of stuff that's going on.
Oh, yeah.
That you've done a fantastic job of linking a lot of that back together and sort of curving it around to make it relevant. Something from 30 episodes ago suddenly come back into play and link it together for sure.
Yeah.
And like you said, it is on us also to, pick up on those cues and those links and share that with the other party members. But you also have to keep in mind the relationship and how it is at that point in time. Would you or wouldn't you do something? I mean, I know as John, there's a lot of things I go, this would be a lot better for the party if I did this. But as Shaft is, I'm not going to do this because of whatever reason he has on his mind at that time.
Right. Well, I mean, okay, the fracture between Shakara and Falsey came as a result of information not being shared. I mean, the two of them had this, quote unquote secret that had it been out in the open, at least between the two of them, I think a lot of these, what you could politely call misunderstandings, just wouldn't have occurred, right? Like, it would have been like, wait a second, if whatever information you may be getting from Keck, you're like, well, hold on, either Keck is a liar or the person giving Keck that information is the liar. As opposed to what happened is like, Falzarin's a liar. He's a derp scion.
Oh, the derp scion.
Right.
Saga.
So a lot of the subterfuge that some of the NPCs have been going about, which involves the party, would have been revealed a lot sooner. But like you say, it's John. It's you got to play your character, and I think you all are doing a fantastic job of playing your character. And I don't think decisions your characters have made are in no way have hindered any type of progress within the campaign, because it's my job to continue the progress regardless of what the players may or may not do.
Yeah, I think the situations as they occur are going to bring people closer together or farther apart, depending on what it is. I mean, you can hate two people can hate each other, and then they get in a situation, say the end of the world, and suddenly you have to work together to accomplish something. You can become the best of friends when prior to that scenario or thing that happening, you could have just as soon killed each other, right? And I think that's what I feel is I'm looking forward to, right? The thing that's going to bond these four people together with a common goal and really trust each other. But that's going to have to happen through
If a Kraken can't do it, what the
things.
heck's going to do it?
The Kraken did do it for a time. If you
For
really
a
think
Right,
minute,
yeah, we were
nothing
brought together.
sticks with these people.
Well, when somebody goes to use your portal without
I
permission,
know.
when somebody joins a coven.
well, see that there's
somebody gets left behind.
So there's me with about a handful of wedges that I'm jamming into the cracks of this egg to touch back onto this weird analogy.
These wedges that are given to
Wedges
you by
and eggs.
us.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely 100%, yeah.
It would be such a boring thing to listen to if we all just got along and went in and because we're pretty powerful together as a team. We
Very.
could pretty much wipe out most things, but having each other sort of
Stabbing each other in the back.
not knowing when that person's going to say, I really do think if push came to shove, we would all back each other up.
Yeah.
Right? It's sort of like a family, right? Now, so you can hate your brother, but if somebody goes and hits your brother, then you're going to go beat the crap out of them. I think that's the relationship we're in now with a lot of moving parts, and those pieces just have to line up a little bit more. Mm-hmm. We're close.
So, Leland, how did you feel when the party was about to walk past all those wonderful magic weapons?
Well, Bill Ben, that's an excellent question. Thank you.
Benevolent
I was like,
DM.
oh, hold on a second. Hold on, wait a second. Point.
You did say that.
Yeah, he had to point it out.
Yeah. I didn't want to just run off without these weapons.
Like I said, I wasn't on my A game that recording session because you mentioned that, and then I went, ooh, a map.
And a freaking great sword instead of a long sword.
dude.
Darn it. Well, I mean, an astute listener already knows that all of those items went undiscussed once the actual party members were reunited. So,
Yeah, that's true.
Oh yeah.
Some people remember.
I mean, it's because like the doppelganger thing was hard. It really was. Like, I felt like I remembered stuff, but I shouldn't.
erase it from your mind now. Otherwise,
All right.
you'll never get this. I'll never give you this opportunity again. Don't let me down, Elena. Put it out of your mind.
You know what's gonna happen? Shaft's gonna take all of them. We're not gonna get any of them.
Well, Falzarin has them. Falzarin, I think, is going to feel guilty enough about
Wait,
using
time
the
out.
portals without permission that he's going to
Falzarin's going to
okay.
give all of them to Shakara.
Let's dissect this statement. Falzarin has them. There was a question, good question, great question by Bill Ben. Can we get a list of contents of what's inside that bag of holding?
Who's we?
All of
That's
us.
what
Does
Bill Ben wants,
anyone
an
know?
itemized list of what's in this
Okay,
bag.
Yeah.
no, shut up, Bill Ben. Go back and work on the chart.
Listen, stat man, you tell us what's in that bag.
I don't even think he knows.
If anyone has a list, please forward
Yeah,
it to me.
incorrigibleparty@gmail.com. If you could email us a list of what's in Fulton's bag of holding, that would be fantastic.
one dead fish man, one cane,
Yeah,
Yeah.
the stat man might be able to
flattery
figure it out.
cane.
First of all, there's 2 people in that bag of holding.
Wait, time out. Does Bill not actually have a list of what's in that bag?
Probably not.
This was actually something I was thinking about the other day. Is there is an item that I believe both Bill and Elena have that they may have forgotten. I think Bia picked up smashed the bag of beans that he got from Tenchi.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
Falsey got a couple. I think
Oh,
Mia
yeah.
picked up one that was left. There was one that was smashed.
Yeah,
or
in
smushed.
the wreckage.
Yeah, in the wreckage. I think right. It was Mia, right?
I think so, yeah.
Somebody did. So don't
Yeah.
forget those. I would definitely Bill, especially because he refuses to get with the 21st century and use D&D Beyond. But go over that character sheet of yours and make sure everything's in there.
I have like 6 scrolls. I've got.
Oh yeah. Well, really, we could use a trip to Magic to
Right.
Yeah.
to sell some stuff, maybe get some stuff.
That longsword.
Get a magic weapon.
Yeah, poor Shakara doesn't have a magic weapon.
Who has the brooch of bartering or whatever that is?
Oh, who has that?
The
Did Thuft get
intimidation
buried with it?
brooch?
Yeah.
Yeah, intimidation.
Oh, the intimidation brooch.
Stuffed.
No,
It
Stuff
went to
didn't
Bryn.
get. I think Bryn took it because
I
she
think
was.
Gozer
I
threw
think-
it at her.
I think
Yeah.
Shakara took it, yeah. Because we divvied up Bryn's stuff when you burned her body.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think
May
Shakara
she
has
rest
it.
in peace.
Yeah. I'm sure there's stuff. Probably not a bad idea.
I'm
to
sure there's things I forgot.
Clean
too.
house.
Yeah, yeah.
You never know. I think we're all going to be equipped up at some point in time.
Well,
Pretty
it
good.
makes you wonder, why are we getting all of these things dumped on us?
Right? Like, what are we about to face?
It's a bit ominous, don't you think?
That's actually really
It's
funny.
like when you find the health potions right before you go fight the big bad.
Yes,
This
precisely.
is chapter 3.
Everything's
the
on the
final
table
big
now, yeah.
bad boss fight.
I'm all in. I'm all in on chapter 3. So get ready. Get ready for a fight. Because there's going to be a lot of them.
As long as long as it's not everyone against Falsey, I'm good. Shakara included.
Yeah, you can blink.
Well, you know you can depend on Shaft.
That's right. I've got your back in sight.
Uh-huh.
You're back in sight. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Oh, man.
What are you talking about, Falzer? I'm always got your back.
I know, but I think Falzarin always wonders, where's Shaft's line where all of a sudden he doesn't have Falzarin's back anymore.
It's actually really funny to think about.
It would be, there's still backstory from Shaft that I wanted to release. I just haven't done it. But I think it would be interesting if there was more. I don't think he would ever share it, is the reason why, with you guys. It's
Who would he actually share it with then? This is crazy. No one.
I think the circumstances of, think of somebody who's had a really rough time in their life or really something bad or things, and then you have that. Why would you? I don't even know how I want to say it. It might come out. Let's hope more of this comes out so we all know how we can start bonding.
Yeah, there's certainly, it's not unreasonable to say that sometimes people have traumatic things in their history that they don't talk about ever. It's not that crazy. No, I don't think that's that unreasonable for a character choice.
I would be interested to see if somebody can crack that nut. I mean, right now nobody's tried, right?
I don't think you're worth it.
Because he's such a untrustworthy person. But so far, I would say overall, he's had everybody's back to some degree. I've fought alongside you.
Well, I was just gonna say exactly how like what's the definition of that, right? Because obviously, like you were kind of alluding to, I think earlier, John, is like there's no way, like when it comes to a fight, when you really have to throw down, that any of you are going to turn your back on another party member that is in danger to go and serve, to do something else, right? Like that's not, the party isn't at that stage, right? If we get to that stage, then something's really wrong.
Right, yeah.
Apart from self-preservation.
That's the thing, is Shaft wants to save Mia or Shakara or whatever because we're powerful and can protect him later. It's all about him. It's not actually to save us.
That's the thing. That's the thing about a good multi-level character is, yes, that's his main goal, but that doesn't mean you can't develop other feelings for people, even though your ultimate goal was survival and somebody.
You're too short for Mia, Shaft, okay?
Okay. So, okay, then.
No, not that kind of
I'm
relationship.
just kidding.
Mia, Mia, why are you traveling with Shaft? Why do you, obviously Elena thinks that of Shaft, but like Mia thinks differently, I assume, right? What is Mia? I think maybe last after party I checked in with the gentlemen about how they feel about your two characters, and I don't know if I did that the same with you two. I think we might have, but why does Mia travel with Shaft then? Like, does Mia think he has power and something to offer in this fight against Nyogi?
I don't ask myself these things. It's just a podcast. I'm just kidding.
No, that's a really good question, because if you guys thought I didn't bring anything to the table, why are you messing with me?
Well, Shakara totally is putting up with you right now because you know the mountains, and that's where she needs to go.
Yeah, that is true. Like, we're going to the mountains. We're your ranger. You know your thing.
So you're using me for your best interest.
Same as what you.
Yeah, we're all just using each other.
Yep.
That's what I'm
really,
saying.
like
I think
all four of us even. I don't know. Maybe Falzarin's the only one who's like completely naive.
Well, I mean, nobody's using him for his blink ability. That's for sure.
Apparently, doesn't benefit us, buddy.
Well, like I said, Shakara thought she had a friendship, a connection with Falzarin, and she's feeling very hurt right now. And that's why she went off on him. Because she's feeling very hurt by him. And that's why I tore up my throat.
Well, the relationship's in a bad spot when nobody's talking anymore. When they're yelling and they're angry, that means they care.
Oh, you love me so much, John.
Aww. I will say that Shakara and Mia, and maybe in some ways too, because I haven't heard it all, but Shaft and Falzarin, like, at least some of these friendships have been strengthened. When you joined the cult, I was like super skeptical, finding out about Dendar and stuff like that. You saved my life. I was dying. Like, you've told me that you're going to kill Isabella if you ever had to. Like, we're kind of on a better page, at least Shakara and Mia are. Mia and Shaft, I feel like there's always going to be feeling of, you're using me, you're using me, whatever, right? And then Mia and Falzarin, it's like, Falzarin, just shut up already.
Knowing we're both using each other for our strengths is not necessarily a bad thing. You know where each other stands.
I think Mia knows. Shaft thinks she's really powerful. Mia likes that. Why wouldn't... Also, like, ego-wise, why wouldn't Mia, because she's always had a little ego, want someone around who thinks she's awesome? Like, that's a good person to have around for Mia, right?
Easy to feed into that, isn't it?
You need an entourage.
Shaft, you my entourage, boy.
And Bill, does Falzarin feel some type of obligation in this party, or what's he thinking?
I think, a lot's happened in a relatively short amount of time, but Falzarin, and like we've gone over this before, Falzarin originally broke off from what he considers his home in Heraklion, because there was conflict with differences of opinion with the conservatism there, and Heraklion and Falzarin is interested in new and exciting magic, that sort of stuff, or different magic that was shunned. And he thought that there was more to be learned on the mainland, and so he kind of is liking an opportunity to not have to go out on his own by himself, because, I mean, this is apparent in battle. If Falzarin is ever cornered by bad guys, he doesn't do so hot on his own. So I think that's probably a big part of it. You know, he's just
using us for protection.
Yeah, a bit. I think he also likes companionship, and he's felt betrayed by people who were, Brendel, namely, shudder to mention the name. So yeah, and these different plot arcs have also swept him up, right? Like his initial goal was to go out into the mainland and investigate and look around for new magics or old magics that have been hidden away for centuries that he can maybe uncover. And now things have, he's gone from one thing to the next as they've been thrust on him.
And you really can't go home again.
Well, yeah, things are in a bit of a state back home.
A bit.
So I think a lot of it's circumstances. But yeah, I think, like I said, part of it is companionship as well. I think Falzarin doesn't like to necessarily be alone. And so I think there's a bit of a motivating factor for him to sort of make friends, if you will, or get to know other people. He hasn't spent a whole lot of time on the mainland.
Yeah, half our campaign's been in Heraklion in the first place.
Yeah.
That's hilarious, actually.
All right. Well, I think we got some good stuff, some good possibilities coming up here real soon.
Let's take a minute to appreciate that Falzarin left the island to go to the mainland. And yeah, there were some episodes, but how long have we really been back on Heraklion, if you think about it? Like,
Heraklion's
the
just
irony.
a happening place.
That's where it's at.
Fighting for his home.
Well, when he left, he never thought he'd have a little pet Alamar in his sack.
Aww, a pet sack.
That's for dang sure.
Try as I might, you can't get rid of all the NPCs that travel with the party.
We have had a lot of NPCs, which I really like. I think it's fun.
Speaking of NPCs, they're going to be fighting each other real soon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. How's that for a segue?
Thanks, Bill.
At the end of, this episode will be the second match of March Madness, our second year of March Madness. And as usual, at the end of the month, there will be the full release of all of the fights put together, in case you're missing any there, listener. But so March Madness, and of course, obviously you probably know, if you're listening to this next Thursday, twice weekly releases for
Let's go
for most of March, I think.
That's right.
Basically until March Madness is done.
We're going mad in March.
Hot dog.
Hot dog.
Why do we do it?
I don't
Because
know.
the people demand it.
Yeah.
We do it because we love you guys.
And I just want it stated for the record, this was Leland's idea to release twice a week again.
That is true.
For the month of March.
That is true.
So when he's ranting and raving and complaining about why are we doing this?
Why are we editing so many nights a week?
Have you ever known me to complain about something?
That's actually... You know what, though? As much as you do like to rant and rave and complain, I don't know if you've ever complained about all of the tremendous amount of work you put into this show.
It's true.
because
can't
I
think of
enjoy
the
it.
time.
You don't bitch about things you enjoy, right?
What?
Unless it's
Wait,
Warzone.
Wait, you don't bitch about things you enjoy? Wait, what?
Everything, at some points feels like a bit of a...
Yeah.
I don't want to say a
Everything
job,
is bitch worthy.
Yeah. No, I'm impressed. We've been doing this for, I don't know how long it's been now, but...
Another good segue, Bill. Almost 2 years.
Well, it would have been a good segue if Bill had remembered.
Right?
And speaking
Listen,
of coming up on our 2
Bill
years,
doesn't remember anything. It's not new to the listeners to hear that. It's fine.
How pray tell could we celebrate this 2-year anniversary?
Can't
Maybe
think of
we should do
anything.
a giveaway.
Throw John a birthday
Can't-
party.
My goodness.
Can't think of
Oh,
a
yeah.
thing.
John's
It will
gonna
be
be
my birthday.
105.
See, I look a lot better now.
Because
You look
didn't our
great
first
for
episode come out
105.
on your birthday?
Yeah.
Yup.
April Fool's
John's
Day.
birthday. April 1st.
April Fool's Day, kids.
Love you, hon.
And in the spirit of giving, we're going to give away.
We're gonna give some stuff away.
Something.
Bill, this is your
We
area.
haven't decided what the giveaway is going to be, right?
We gotta, yeah. So we had a really
But we have a
good.
special giveaway for our patrons.
Oh, right.
Right.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, the Patreon
That
giveaway.
has been
This
decided.
is the first time we have done a Patreon exclusive giveaway.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. We do give bonus entries into every giveaway in the past. And actually, we've had a Patreon win before, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. We did
Yeah,
have a
Ashley
Patreon
won.
win. Yes, right. We kind of just want to say thanks, give back to them. We really appreciate everyone who supports us. You know, this show is free and we intend to keep it free forever, but it is awesome that there are people who value it enough to want to toss a couple bucks our way every month. And so, yes, for all of you who are our patrons, you'll be automatically entered as you have been in all the previous giveaways, but this giveaway is going to be for you only.
Yeah, you don't got to do nothing.
Exactly.
Are we going to say what we're going to give away, or are we going to hold that?
What are we giving away? I don't know what we're giving away. Oh my gosh, I'm so upset. I'm so paranoid. What are we giving away? Oh,
I'm absolutely paranoid.
it's an RPG book.
It's paranoia.
Yes.
Yes.
Paranoia.
That's right.
It's the core rules of paranoia, right?
It's the whole base game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
You have
base
everything
game.
you need to play just like we did on our Patreon exclusive
Mini campaign.
paranoia game.
Yeah, that was our very first mini campaign.
Yeah, and it's an awesome game. I mean, it's one
It's
of those. As if you've listened, it's really fun, off the cuff humor.
Oh, dude, that game was so fun to play.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a good system. I like it.
it was good.
And yeah, so this is the newest release of it. I think it was 2015 or 16 they re-released it because it was a game from back in the 80s. And the new version is really cool. You get a lot of cool cards and scenarios. You can go out and get other scenarios out on Amazon. You can get what you need out there for different games. But it comes with a few base games that you can play through, and it's awesome fun. So whoever gets it, I hope they give it a whirl at least and let us know what happened on their adventure.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited. And if you're on the fence about whether you wanted to support us on Patreon, now's your time. Not only do you get access to our mini campaigns, Patreon exclusive, but you might win this sweet, sweet book.
Can't believe we've gone 2 years without confirming that Leland is a real person.
I
Yeah,
know.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that definitely
Just
wasn't
not
the plan.
some
But
simulated AI,
No.
you know.
Yeah, that's one of the goals of the Patreon is to be able to get together in real life and hang out at a con.
Yeah.
Make Leland come to the East Coast.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Or IPCon, we don't want to leave that
Ooh,
out.
IPCon.
IPCon
Oh.
2025.
Incorrigible Con will be.
The list of everything that will happen at IPCon continues to grow
Brit's
in our
got
Discord.
it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, Britt's doing an excellent
Scotch
job.
eggs were the last thing added, I
Listen,
think.
listeners out there, if you don't know what Discord is, we will help you. Just come join us. The community is ridiculous and incorrigible,
It's
and you
such
will
a
love
great
it.
community.
Yeah, I made a YouTube's video
Oh,
specifically
a
for how to.
YouTube's.
Yes.
Yes,
made a
it's gone
YouTube's.
viral, by the way.
All the virals.
Yeah,
I've watched it like 50 times.
then how come there's only 30 views?
because I downloaded it, I pirated it, so I don't give you this.
Oh, great.
That's how that works.
I was
All right.
playing on my computer. I recorded the screen with my phone, and now I have my own copy of it. My version's getting 50 views.
We're all on Discord all day just talking and chatting.
It is a ton of
And
fun.
we got
It's a good
Twitch
place.
going on, you guys. We got lots of things. Find us in all our socials. They're always listed at the end and on our website. So, whoo, yeah. 2 years.
Ooh, yeah.
Let's wrap it
March
up.
Madness.
I'm going to go ahead. Yep. March is going to be fun and tiring
Yeah.
for all of us, but it's going to be a good time
Oh,
for
yeah.
everybody. So,
Yeah.
all right. I've been John and Shaft.
I've been Emily and Shakara.
I'm Elena. I play Mia.
I've been Bill and Faldrin.
And I'm Leland Steele. Happy adventuring.
Ba, 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 ba.
You can't do that because the song's already playing. You can't.
I know.
Hey there, all you bloodthirsty incorrigibles. We're into bracket 2 of the 8th finals. In the West, our soft-spoken abjurer, inventor of the safety shell, Drake Didge, versus the stoic sardine, Triton protector, Slava. And here we go, folks. Oh, lunging forward with surprising speed from the fish out of water, Slava delivers a quick jab with his mighty trident. But, reacting on instinct, Drake throws his hands up in front of him, casting a magical shield around him. It deflects Slava's strike. Slava spins, grabbing the trident with both hands, dealing a second forceful blow that shatters the barrier. Drake just took one hell of a hit. His shoulder looks mangled. The Triton smells blood in the water and presses for another attack. But the wounded wizard's not down. He can still cast, and that's what he's doing. Oh my god, Slava is gone. Banished to the elemental plane of water. But that doesn't mean the fight's over, folks. This is a battle to the death. Looks like Drake has just got some time to recover. Oh my god, look, his blood soaking through his robes. He's leaning over and catching his breath. But wait, he's casting again. Slava has reappeared. Trident immediately swinging through the air. Again, the strike is stopped. But this is no shield. Drake has put up a wall of force. Slava's doing his best to find his way around it. He's doing his best mime in a box routine, but it's getting him nowhere. It appears he's trapped. Oh my god, folks. Panic seems to be setting in. That box is airtight. Oh, the humanity. Oh, thank the gods we can't hear those horrifying screams of suffocation. Well, this was absolutely horrid to watch, folks. But Drake Didge is our winner! And now on to the East bracket. Everybody knows his name, and you're always glad he came. It's Hefe! Versus, rumored to be the severed heads of a dual comedy troupe. Now destined to an eternity of fiery servitude to a gross purple hag. It's Numb and Skull! And here we go. The flame Skull's eyes blaze as 4 fiery rays blast at Hef. Wait a second. Where in the 9 hells did that come from? Hef has taken cover behind some kind of portable bar. I didn't even see him deploy it. Hef is on his feet, alcohol bottles in hand. He's juggling him. Oh my god, he's pouring himself a drink. This is a real cocktail moment, folks. Numb and Skull seem as amazed as the crowd does. Wait, I'm getting report. Yes, Skull has broken into a stand-up routine. He's not really all that funny, mostly bone-related puns. But Numb is crackling laughter is shattering the liquor bottles in Hef's hands. Hef has jumped up on top of the bar with his drink. Now he's dancing. Well, that does make sense. Coyote Ugly is the reason Hef wanted to become a bartender. The crowd is standing at attention after that sexy dance routine. Hef takes a swig of his drink, a spray of booze turning into a jet of flame as it makes contact with Numb's natural green fire. The Skull is completely engulfed. But wait, there seems to be no effect. Hef's made a terrible mistake. He's standing on top of a wooden bar, now covered with accelerant. Skull sends a fireball at the base of the bar, the explosion incinerating Hefe. And that's it, folks. Hefe is gone. Well, he died as he lived, covered in booze and getting people hot. Well, let's have a hearty cheer for all our competitors as the second bracket now comes to a close. Stay tuned for more carnage.